Hello, how are you? Welcome to EY Trudy. I am Eya, your host and guide on the journey to a holistic life mastery. Here at EY Trudy, we deliver actionable strategy and kind of unfiltered insights across the four essential pillars of a successful life, which cuts across mindset, money, wellness, and the world around you. So today we are exploring the topic on authenticity. And this is more like beyond the screen, connecting authenticity in a digital era. How many times today have you unlocked your phone? 50? 100? Or maybe even more? We live in the most connected era in human history. We can talk to someone in Tokyo from a coffee shop in Toronto. And we can even talk to someone in maybe Texas from our bedroom in Lagos. We have access to every thought, every opinion, and every milestone of our friend's life and our family's life. And yet, for some reason, why do so many of us feel more isolated than ever? We are drowning in content, but we are starving for connection. So today, I want to talk about what happens when we mistake the profile for the person. This is beyond the screen, and we are exploring how to find authenticity in the digital era or the digital age. Now, let's be honest. When was the last time you posted a picture of yourself in a vulnerable state? When was the last time you posted a picture of your laundry pile? Or a video of you crying because maybe you had a bad day at work? Probably never. So this is what the sociologists will call the curated self. It is not necessarily that we are lying, but what we are then doing is that we are performing. We treat our lives as though our life is like a magazine, and then we are the chief editors in chief. Okay, so what we do is that we cut off any boring parts of our life. We kind of airbrush the flaws and then present a version of ourselves that is kind of digestible, likable, and maybe safe. And here is the problem. The problem isn't like in the photos that we share or the narratives that we share. The problem is in the gap. The distance between who we are on a Tuesday morning, waking up late, messy, anxious, human, and who we pretend to be on our feet. And what happens is that when our lives continue to go this way, when you live in that gap for too long, you would start to believe that your real self isn't good enough to be shown. And as humans, we kind of crave what I would say, like we crave validation. Those kind of little red hearts or thumbs ups, it gives us like a hit of a kind of dopamine or some happiness. But validation is not the same thing as connection. Validation simply means you are asking, do you like this image of me I'm presenting? But then connection is actually asking, do you see me, the human I am? So, my dear friends, Authenticity requires vulnerability. And the internet, by its design, is often a place where vulnerability is not appraised, or maybe is even punished. And what that means is that if we showed the cracks, people will scroll past our feet. But then here is the irony. Perfection is boring, and the cracks actually brings in the light. Think about any creator that you know or a friend you love the most. Is it the ones who are perfect? Or is it the ones who make you feel like, oh, this is relatable? Thank God, I'm not the only one struggling with this as well. So we connect through shared struggles and not shared perfection. So now, how do we reclaim our authenticity? How do we fix this? So we can even start by just, I know you might imagine that maybe we can just throw our phones into the ocean, as tempting as that might sound, but no. Here are 3 small shifts that can move you from performing to actually connecting. So the number 1 would be to audit your feeds. If you follow an account or a page that makes you feel inadequate, makes you feel poor, makes you feel ugly, makes you feel like your own life is unworthy, maybe unfollow them. As ruthless as that may sound, making sure that you follow persons or pages that does not trigger your insecurity, but makes you laugh and makes you feel relatable is very important. And the number 2 is to post the B side, what I describe as the B side. Challenge yourself once a week. Share something real. A thought you are wrestling with, a project that failed, or just maybe a picture of you without a filter, and watch what happens. Because when you share a vulnerable side of yourself, you give others the permission to be real too. And the other thing you could do is to take some things offline. Text a friend today, but don't just ask, how are you? Instead, you can ask them, how is your heart doing? Or what's been happening in your life lately? Simply by moving the conversation from the comment section to a phone call or even a meetup at the coffee bar or something, or even at the bar, can mean that we are then becoming more authentic to ourselves and improving the human connection. Although the algorithm wants your attention, but then there is something your soul wants. Your soul wants connection, which is the human algorithm. So in the digital age, being authentic is an act of rebellion, I would say. It is saying that I'm more than a picture, I'm more than my feet. I'm a complex human being, I'm real, I've got my challenges, and this is my life. So the next time that you go on to post, ask yourself, am I posting this to be liked? Or am I posting this to be known as a human that I am? Because there is a difference. So that being said, don't let the screen be like a wall. Instead, make the screen be like a window to your soul, a window to the human that you are, a window to the person who exists before even the page or the feeds or the pictures or the videos. Okay, so thank you so much for listening today. I hope you learned 1 or 2, and I'm encouraging you to try your best to be as authentic as you can be in the digital era where filters and curated realities makes us feel sometimes that we are unworthy, makes us feel like our life is falling behind and all of that. I'm encouraging you to be your authentic self and be the best version of yourself that you